All right, hey everybody, I have a very big announcement to make. I'm officially moving back to Los Angeles full time. I've actually moved back. Now, you may stop watching, or if you care, I'm gonna list all the reasons why I have decided to leave New York City, which I still love, and come back to Los Angeles, which I like a lot. If I didn't have kids, I'd probably still be in New York City most of the time, and maybe spending more time in Los Angeles as well. But having now 2 children, and especially my son who's 3 now, makes living in New York City really different than when I first moved there in the summer of 2013. All of the reasons why I moved to New York were very valid and are still valid. I was in Los Angeles for 11 years. I felt like my life here was so defined by my job, and I felt like a prisoner to my house. I would just work and I wouldn't leave, and I would only leave on the weekends, and I don't want to live that life. I want to enjoy every day. So I moved to New York, and boy did I. It's so easy to get around in New York City. So you do so much. There's so much to do. It's so easy to make new friends there. I did all of that. I saw every fucking musical and play and museum I went to, and I did it all. I sucked every last drop out of the tit that is New York City, and I loved it. But here's something that started happening. Last year, as many of you know if you've watched my videos and vlogs, I started to deal with anxiety. And you don't often realize what is causing anxiety, and there may be a surface level reason that you might think is the reason you're experiencing certain feelings, but oftentimes, as is the case with what I was going through, there's a deeper, more substantial reason why you're feeling things deeply. I thought that I was dealing with anxiety because my daughter was being born and because I had just left that traumatic experience of Celebrity Big Brother, but the real reason is I was having to come to terms with me realizing I wanted and needed to move back to Los Angeles. And that was a very painful realization for me because I love New York City and I would have still been there if I don't have kids. But as a parent, your family's happiness is the most important thing for you. And I'm happily back in Los Angeles. I'm so excited to be back. I am thrilled. My mom is even much more excited than I am to be back. The weather for her is a huge thing. For me, it was really about more space. We don't need more space, but we want more space. And if I'm gonna live in New York City, I wanna live in the heart of it. I wanna live in Manhattan. I don't wanna move to the suburbs to get more space. That's not me. So we want more space, and also, let's get real. I'm all about being real. New York City is insanely expensive. I was looking at schools for my son for next year. You know how much a private school for kids in Manhattan is, beginning in preschool? $45,000 a year. Let me say that one more time. $45,000 a year per kid for private school in New York City. And school isn't the only thing that's expensive. Even the most basic shit is so overpriced in Manhattan. At the Gristedes near us, a carton of organic milk was $8. Kids drink a lot of milk. Here in Los Angeles, a carton of organic milk is only $4. You do the math. Yes, I can afford to live in New York City, but the parent in me kept nagging my brain and saying, hey, listen, just because you can afford to do something doesn't mean you should. And I think it's also better for me and my brand and my business to be in LA. This is where Perez was born, made a name for himself. And yes, I'm talking about myself in the third person. This is where I made shit happen, and I'm gonna fuck shit up now that I'm back. Watch out. So I'm so happy to be back. I'm happy to do more videos, interview people, have fun. I'm happy that my children will have their aunt nearby in the same city. I'm happy that my mom's happy, because let me tell you, if you have a family member living with you who's unhappy, that unhappiness rubs off on you, whether you want it to or not. It's just gonna happen. So now we're all happy, we're all excited to be back, and to new adventures. Thanks for watching.